All right, let's get this party started. It is Monday, August 22nd, and we are talking all things social media and content, a little bit of reels, anything that you're posting on social media. Because I'm not going to make this super long, I wanted to give you some pointers on what to focus on, what to do, a couple don't do's just to help you a little bit. I'm going to ask Kate to give a little bit of input because she, especially when it comes to Instagram, is the knower of all things, right? Like she really dives in and learns that platform and has played around a lot with doing reels and hashtags and different things to help grow her following. So I'm going to ask for her input, and then I would like to just set a timer and go through creating either some copy, or you can go through reels and start creating your own. We'll get there in a minute. But before I dive into the content I put together for tonight, I did want to just briefly remind you that Kate and I are leading a What is Coaching call on Thursday. That is what, the 26th? Now I'm questioning myself. The 25th. And I know the original calendar said 7:30, but the boys have their open house at night. So we're going to push it back to 8 p.m. to make sure I get back in time and I'm not rushed. So 8 p.m. EST Thursday, the 25th, that's this week, using this Zoom link and passcode, we are going to be talking about coaching. Okay. So make sure you're inviting your potential clients, your family, your friends to learn more about coaching, why you're excited to be a part of this community, and help them decide if this could be a good fit for them. Okay. All right, cool. I think that's the only announcements I have for right now. So I'll go ahead and dive in, and then Kate, if you just want to chime in whenever, go for it. So a couple things I just want to talk about when it comes to social media. You guys, we've talked about this several different times. We've done a lot of different calls on this, but I just want to give you some pointers and some reminders. And then for those of you who are brand new, just kind of give you some pointers when it comes to social media. So we want to make sure that we're providing valuable content, right? Like we want to give value. We don't want to just snap a selfie and be like, I got my workout done. We want to make sure that we're giving something of value, something inspirational, maybe some tips, some resources. Maybe you're sharing a recipe and talking about the foods that you eat, but we want it to give some sort of value to our followers. We want to leave them in a better place than where they found our post that day, right? So we want to make sure we're providing valuable content. We want to be consistent. Now, social media, especially Instagram, has changed quite a bit where it's not where you have to post multiple times a day, or that you have to make an actual post, like a picture post on your grid every day. You need to be present in your stories and your reels if you're not making an actual post. But it has changed to where you don't have to be posting every single day. There are a lot more people who are coming to you to look for valuable content, but they're also starting to take a step away from social media. So, like when I first started coaching, guys, we had to post, we didn't have to, but to grow engagement and to grow your followers, you had to post at least 3 times a day. Okay? Valuable typed out posts, not just, like everyday life in your stories, like good, valuable posts 3 times a day. It is not like that anymore. I encourage you to do 1 a day, but if you take like Saturday or Sunday off, that's okay. But be consistent in showing up for your people, okay? So that they know you're there. You don't want to make a post today and then not post again until next Monday, or not post again until the following week. That's too inconsistent. Does that make sense? You want to find a balance and a harmony that works for you. So maybe that's making 4 posts a week. If that's where you're starting, cool, but you got to be consistent with it. Okay. Clear, well lit photos. Please, this is like the biggest pet peeve of mine. And I have one of these before I take my morning picture. It's just a lens cleaner for my glasses. And I clean my front lens and I clean the back lenses. Please, it's not going to stop people scroll if you have a super fuzzy picture or it's really dark. Okay. Or if we're always doing the same angle where we're just doing this. We want to give variety. We want to show different types of pictures. And we want to make sure that they're well lit, and we want to make sure that they are clear. We don't have finger smudges or makeup smudges all over the camera before we take the picture. Okay. Use catchy headlines, or ask a question, or use a quote to open up your post. Okay. Everybody is so fast nowadays, you guys, that they're just scrolling. Think about how quickly you scroll through stuff. You want something that is going to stop them. Okay. And Caitlin added, I literally use the edge of my blanket to clean my camera before my AM pick. You do, yes. And sometimes I'll use, yep, I do that too. But like sometimes my makeup just smudges more. So I try to make sure while I'm still in the bathroom and I grab my, like out of my grab my glasses, my thing's right there. So I try to wipe my lenses so that they're clean for all of my morning posts, right? So we want to make sure that we're using catchy headlines. You guys, I shared that headline document that had what, like 40 or 50 opening lines or like starting posts for you. Finding a quote that resonates with you, or just simply asking a question to get engagement. Stories, when it comes to stories, you need to be talking in your stories. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be very candid. It should be, but that's how your people get to know you. They get to see your personality. They get to see your quirkiness and your weirdness and all that stuff. But that's what makes you you. And that's what makes your people drawn to you. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. And if you screw it up, who cares? If you follow Brock at all, he just changed his name to like Instagram mentor or whatever it is, and he misspelled Instagram, and he can't change it for 30 days. So he made a reel about how it's Instagame now and that he is an Instagame mentor. The point is that none of us are perfect. So don't put that pressure on yourself. Just be you. And guess what? Stories go away in 24 hours. So if it's terrible, it's going to go away. All right. So don't put that pressure on yourself. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. I will say, do you see that reel, Caitlin? You didn't see it. It's hilarious. Yes, it says Instagame, and he can't change that shit for 30 days. So he embraced it. He totally called himself out in a reel on it. It's amazing. The other thing I will say, and I have noticed a couple people do it, and you guys, I'm not calling you out to shame you. I'm calling you out or pointing it out so that you learn. When you talk in your stories, don't look at yourself. Okay? Look at your camera. It takes a little bit of practice, but you want to watch yourself. And when somebody else watches it back, they see you watching yourself. Look at the camera lens, because then you're looking into your followers when you speak to them. Okay. There is a difference. Your gaze and your eyes will be different. So make sure you're looking into your camera and not at your face on the screen. Okay. That's just a little tip. Talking your stories, ask questions, try to get people engaged just by talking about what you're doing for the weekend. Ask them what they're doing. I did a poll today that I was talking about our wellness group coming up in my stories. I was talking about the What is Coaching event, but I was also talking about other things that are coming up in life. And so I put a poll for all of those things to create engagement. It wasn't just Beachbody specific. Okay. Have a plan and create copy. So create copy means you're creating your content ahead of time. We've talked about this recently, where you have some carved out time, maybe creative time on the weekends when it's quiet. Maybe the rest of the house is just kind of chilling and watching TV, and you can sneak away for 15 or 20 minutes and it's quiet. Create your posts, or at least get some ideas down on a doc. I use a Google document in my Gmail, so I can pull it up on my phone or I can pull it up on my computer, and it's super easy, right? But having a plan, knowing what your themes are for each day that you're going to create content, and start getting those ideas on paper so that come the day of the post, especially for evening posts, you're not like, I'm tired, I want to go to bed, it's been a hell of a fucking day and I don't want to do this, but I have to get a post up. And then you're talking to the wall because you have zero inspiration. There is zero good vibes behind that. And people feel it's just keep putting up a post, right? So do yourself a favor and take that little bit of time. Whatever that looks like for you. For me, it's usually Sunday mornings. The kids are quiet or I'm up before them and I can sit down, my brain is fresh, and I knock out some ideas after I do my personal development. Okay. Okay. So as far as Caitlin, do you have anything to add to that? I'm going to break down Instagram a little bit and Facebook a little bit and then go from there. Okay. So Instagram, reels, you guys, reels. Like, posts are really not getting hardly anything. Like, if you are not doing reels, you need to start. Okay. You need to start. It is a little bit of a learning curve, but don't overcomplicate it. Like, literally start taking video of everything that you, whether you're just going for a walk, take a 15 snippet of your walk or the scenery, or you laughing with your kids for a brief moment. All of those little things, because you can reuse those over and over and over and over to create reels. Okay. Your workout videos that you're recording can be used in multiple reels. And when we share reels in the message thread, steal those ideas. That's why we share them. Yes. That's a great point, but don't overcomplicate it. It's real. Like, I have multiple times just used myself journaling, which I take that video every morning. Every morning it goes into my stories, but I've also used it for consistency reels, like audio that's talking about consistency and discipline and showing up and getting up and grinding. Okay. You can utilize it multiple times. So get on doing reels. Something else I will point out, and I've talked about this before, when you go to post your reel and it's ready to post, I hit the toggle so that it doesn't always go to my grid. I have found, especially with my morning reel, like my 6:30 to 7 a.m. reel, it gets way more engagement and views if I do not share it to my grid. Okay. So play around with it, see what works for you. That might not be the same for you, but you have to play around with it. But just know that that option is there. Okay. Talking in your stories and utilizing stories to share bits of your life throughout your day. And you guys, stories are super, like, I feel like stories have been around so long that I really shouldn't have to touch on them a whole lot, but for those of you who are maybe are newer and haven't used social media a whole lot, stories is just about life. It doesn't have to be super pretty. It doesn't need to be well thought out. It's like, literally, what are you doing? And it's sharing pieces of what's going on. Okay. Call to actions to engage. So, like, having a call to action means save this post for later. Like, if you're giving tips, right? Save this tip or save this post for later when you feel whatever the tips are helping to solve, right? I can't read my own writing. Or drop a heart or whatever below if you feel this. Just different things like that, or asking them a question so that they engage on the post. Okay. And then utilizing hashtags. When you post a reel or you post anything to your grid, you need to immediately go to the first comment, be the first comment on your post or your reel, and post hashtags. Okay. If you are not posting hashtags on Instagram, hardly anybody is seeing your shit. Okay. So if you want to reach people, that's how Instagram works. Hashtags. Have to use them. And you find a few that work for you. I usually change it up a little bit. There are a handful that I use on every single post. But I change it up depending on what the value of the post is. And I have many hashtags saved to the note section of my phone. So it's super easy to go grab them and paste them. I reuse my workout videos from stories constantly. Yes. Make sure to save your reel post and share to your stories at the same point as well. I agreed. You guys, if you don't know how to use Instagram collections, YouTube it. It's super simple, but the collections is how you bookmark things and you can go back and find content, but it also boosts your posts and your reels into algorithms when they're saved, when they're bookmarked. So bookmark your own. And hey, here's a little tip. I have one that's named Showing My Girls Love. Okay. So anytime you guys share a post and I put love on your post, you better believe I bookmarked it and it goes into that folder so that you guys get more engagement on your posts. Okay. Super simple to do. It takes 2 seconds to hit that bookmark button and save it to that collection. Okay. And it helps everybody. Okay. Instagram, anything else, Kate?
I mean, I think that kind of covers it. And then too, if we wanna, I know like with the reels, since there is such a big push with Instagram to have those, I mean, we can set up, we could do like a call during the day, like how we used to do the 10-minute tips or something. I mean, and I can go over specifics, because it does change all the time if people want to do that. I know we've asked about that in the past, and some people do, some people don't. Like it's just been kind of like a mixture of feedback. So, but if we want to have like actual Instagram trainings on such things, just let me know and we can also do that too. So
I mean, honestly, I think that if you're willing to do that and you have the time to do that, I think it would be really helpful. And that's something we could bookmark in the team page and it would be available. Because I mean, even though it's constantly changing, the basis of it is still the
yeah,
same, right?
yeah,
There's a couple new features here and there, but as
yeah,
far as how you create one, how you're finding audio, different things like that is gonna
okay,
stay pretty similar.
yeah, we can do something like that where I can just like share my screen or something.
All right, cool. Yeah, that works. Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, so then we move on to Facebook. You want to make sure that so it goes back to Instagram for a second. You want to make sure that your Instagram is set up to creator and that you're sharing your stories in your settings, that you're sharing your stories from Instagram to Facebook. It'll automatically share to Facebook. You don't have to do anything. Okay. If you need help on that, let me know. But it's literally just go to your settings and Instagram, you make your account, creator account, and then it's under share, I think. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's just share. And then you change your share settings so it automatically shares to Instagram. Now that is for stories. Do not do that for your posts. Okay. That can be a little bit confusing. Only share your Instagram content on your stories. When you make a post on Instagram, you need to go to Facebook and repost it live. Okay. Facebook will kill it if you just share it from Instagram. Likewise, we talked about using hashtags on Instagram always. Do not use hashtags on Facebook. It's going to kill your post. Okay. So you want to make sure that you copy. For me, I actually usually make my post on Facebook first when I'm making just an actual post. I hold my thumb down, I copy the entire thing, and I go over to Instagram and I paste it. But you have to make your actual post live on each platform. Okay. And do not use hashtags. So a couple of things that you could do. So that's really all I had for Facebook. You guys, Facebook is really pretty easy. And it's not the most booming platform, right? But if you're consistent on it, it will still produce. I still get way more business from my Facebook than I do my Instagram. Okay. So don't discount Facebook, but you want to really be growing your Instagram. Okay. You can post your reels from IG to Facebook reels as well. Yes. And actually picture posts on Facebook seem to do better than videos, at least for me. Yeah. I that varies for me. I think it does for me too, the actual like picture posts and a single picture rather than multiple pictures seems to do better. But you guys, we're all different and our followers are all different. So you just have to kind of pay attention. What posts are doing really well and what did you do in that post? And kind of see if you can figure out what the rhythm is. Okay. And then the last couple things I just wanted to touch on is don't be afraid to recycle content. Okay. Just because you already put it out there doesn't mean that all of your followers saw it or that they're going to even remember that you already posted that. So don't be afraid to recycle content, especially if you have like a memory, like a time hop, and it was a killer post and did really well. Reuse it, maybe not verbatim, right? Maybe you alter it a little bit so it fits where you are in life right now, but don't be afraid to recycle content. Don't be afraid to try new things. Okay. Play around with it. If it bombs, who cares? We can't be attached to what we're doing. We can't be attached to the post. We just have to be willing to try new things, learn and grow from it, and move forward. Okay. Remembering that stories only last 24 hours and then they're gone. So don't be afraid to just get in there and do it. Before and afters. Okay. We are health and fitness coaches. What we are offering, yes, is weight loss, but it's so much more than that, right? So much more than that. So maybe you're brand new, or maybe you're in a different season and you don't feel like you have this earth-shattering before and after. You are still a different person today than you were a week ago, than you were 2 weeks ago, than you were a month ago, than you were a year ago. That is your before and after, because you're utilizing the tools and the resources that you have available to you through this community and through this business, right? You want to make sure that you're sharing your transformation at least once a week. So like when you're on your Instagram, if you don't have a before and after, even if it's just a smile, you know what I mean? Like it's just that face picture. If you don't have one of those in the top 9 pictures of your grid, when somebody comes to your page, you need to be better about sharing your story. You need to be better about sharing your transformation and the journey that you're on. Okay. So making sure that you're sharing more about your before story and your after. And then I just am recommending that you all follow Brock Johnson. I'll put his handle for Instagram in here. I think most of you are, but it's Brock11, if I can type, Johnson is his Instagram handle. He gives so much valuable content on what's working on Instagram, what's coming to Instagram now, like what is working right now. And you guys, it's usually reels and they're usually like 30 to 60 seconds long, if that. So you can just go there and check a couple times a week, see what's working, what's not. And he's always good for a great laugh. So, because he's just very real and honest, right? So that's all I really had. That took off way more time than I anticipated. Kate, did you have any
The
add-ons?
only thing I was going to mention too, which is something for you guys, and then also something you can let your new coaches know as they come on board too. But the transformation aspect is so huge, and it is so important that we're sharing our own story, because I mean, I think back to people who, and Corey too, people who've been following us from the very beginning, like they're still going to be following you like years later. Like, I mean, it's a given. But I can understand too, being in that position where it's like I don't have like that physical like transformation at this point in time, and to crawl in your head a little bit about that. And I mean, I don't think there's any sugarcoating the fact that those big transformation pictures are absolute great clickbait when it comes to social media. Like people love to look at that stuff. And if you don't have that and you're wanting to put that in there, all of us who share our before and afters, like, I mean, I think of like Clarissa. I mean, we all like, there's plenty of people within our team that have had those kinds of physical transformations. So like, if you are looking to add that, I mean, that's something I used to utilize all the time and still do, especially when we're, rolling out, like posts for upcoming, groups or upcoming programs that are about to roll out. Like I'll throw up, and Corey does too, I know, a bunch of different transformations from everybody. So don't be afraid to utilize those too, because I mean, obviously they do help with views, because people do like that. It doesn't mean that you don't share your own journey. That's still more important. But I do think that you should feel comfortable to utilize other transformations too, because it's not, I mean, it isn't just about us too. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's important to show that other people are having success too.
Yeah.
Whether it's coaches that you're working with or other people in the wellness community that are with you, that it's not just you, right? That you're not this unicorn, although you all are, that you aren't this like freak of nature that only you are seeing results. It helps them see that other people can do it too, right? Okay. Do we have any questions? No. Does everybody feel super stellar in social media? Or is there something that you are going to take away from this and focus a bit more time and energy on? You can type it in the chat. Don't everybody look down. I'm taking notes. No, don't call on me. I'm taking notes. I am going to call on you if you do that. I see Dawn typing. I'm going to start talking more. Yes, I saw you typing. Awesome. And it does get easier the more that you do it. And I like, there's still times I kind of crawl in my head. I'm like, oh, that was stupid. I sounded like, ugh. Like I just don't, sometimes you just don't know, but
It's actually, it has gotten easier in the last couple of years since I started doing it here and there. I just need to do it more consistently.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I swear you guys, if you are struggling like with the whole reel thing, if you're calling in your head about that, if you are struggling with knowing what to do as far as content goes, I did one of these today, and I know I've mentioned this before. I put like an ask me anything box in my stories, and I'm at the point now where I do have people that are asking questions, but I go back, I fill in that box with however many questions I want to answer that I would want people to know either about me or about the programs or about whatever. And then what you can do is you can respond. And if you need help with this, you can let me know, but you can respond to that question with a reel, and it'll put that little box in your reel. And then there's your content. You just talking and answering this question, save it, and then continue on. I do a lot of my content like that because you can record it as many times as you want, so that you like it. And it's a great, so much of Instagram now is pushing personal content and kind of getting away from we still see like the trending audios and things like that, but so many more people are looking for that really real, authentic vibe. So I get a lot of really great views on any of my like content where I'm just talking. You don't want to make them super long. I would keep them 30 seconds or less if you can, but it's a great way to just crank out some content that when you're feeling kind of stuck.
Yes. So Kylie asked, when is the best time to post reels? You're going to have to play around with it. For me, it's between 6:30 and 7 a.m. Or those are when my reels do the absolute best. It's like people are waking up and scrolling. But you're going to have to play around with it and check your insights to see. And you can look. What?
I was about to say with the insights.
Yeah. If you check your insights, you'll be able to see in the last 7 days when people were engaging on your content the most. It'll even tell you if they were male or female and kind of what demographic or where they are in the country, their age, all of that. So that way,
Time.
yeah, see Kate's, it'll tell you.
Like my people come on between like their biggest time right now is like 6 p.m. So like I'm posting reels. I post reel. Well, I always post a reel first thing in the morning, but then my next reel is going to be sometime in the afternoon, and that's just on a Sunday. So it'll do like the different days too.
Yeah, that way you can see, but you'll just have to play around with it and check your insights to see. But look at what your insights, when you had the most engagement over the last week, and start with that time and then kind of play around with it.
Well, and like your followers also are going to get to know when you post your stuff. So as long as you're consistent about the times that you're posting, you can kind of create your own schedule and they'll just figure it out. So there's that.
Well, and when they're engaging on you all the time, they're going to see your stuff because Instagram's automatically going to put them or put you in their feed. And the other thing that Brock shared that I caught this week was that actually, I think he just shared it today because it's brand new, is that smaller creator accounts are going to start getting more visibility than the big creator accounts.
Yep.
So That's pretty cool. That means that they're not just gonna fill the feeds with all the, you know, big guys that are already getting a ton of engagement and views. So that's really good too.
Yeah, they're really pushing small business.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right. So we have some focus, right? For the next week to kind of evaluate where we're at, like set an intention. You're going to talk in your stories. How many times are you going to talk in your stories this week? How many reels are you going to create this week? And just keep building on that, you guys. You don't have to freaking dive all in and go, I'm going to talk in my stories 3 times a day, 7 days a week, and I'm going to put up 2 reels a day every single day for 7 days. You're going to burn yourself out and you're going to feel super freaking tired and you're not going to want to create any content. Do something that's doable for you that you can be consistent with and you can build on. Okay. All right, cool. The only other announcement I have really quick is I put the post in our team page today, Meg. So I announced that I put a little special request in for our team, and it was to Meg because when she was here at my house on Super Saturday, she did an exercise with the girls who were here to work through some thoughts and where they were, kind of where they were going, type of stuff. And she's talked about this formula from Rachel Bodie that has really helped her overcome limiting beliefs and feeling stuck because she obviously hit 15-star, was top 10 in the company at one point, and then after she became a mom, she found it really hard to keep a balance in life, to keep growing her business and not have the mom guilt and not feel super stretched thin. And so this formula that Rachel Bodie teaches has helped Meg to really hone in on her balance, on how to still be a successful businesswoman who pursues her passion, but still be a very present and intentional mom and not feel like she's missing out in either area, which is really the ultimate, right? Because don't we all feel pulled at some point? And I'm not saying her life is perfect, right? Like she still feels pulled at times, but she can pivot faster and she can adjust her thoughts because of this thought process. So she is going to lead a call for our team, and she asked if she could open it up to her team. And obviously we're going to do that because she has welcomed our team like we are a part of her family and always has, even before all of you were here. She has always been that for me. So our team, along with her team, are going to be doing a call this Sunday, the 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you can be on there live, really make it a priority, you guys. Like I pushed back going to a friend's house to make this work. And make it work for her schedule and our schedule and for the entire team. So really try to be there live. Obviously, you're going to get the same content if you watch a playback, but it's not going to be the same. So I am really excited for that. So that's Sunday at 1 p.m. Don't forget, we have our What is Coaching Call Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to let y'all go for the night. So hopefully you guys got some good things to take away. Set your intentions for the rest of this week. Put the goal out there and share it in the team page if you so willing would like some accountability and a little push. Okay. All right, you guys, have a good night. I love you all.